Hi everybody, this is a short video to introduce you the new features of BlueBrick 1.8. Let's start with the teeny but convenient features. I have added quite a lot of new cursors. The cursor is different for each type of layer. For example, the create layer, and also if I hide the layer, I have a new cursor. But more important, I'm sure you have noticed this text box in the bottom of the library. Yes, you can now type some keywords to filter the part library. For example, if I type green, I only list the green baseplate. You can enter multiple keywords to refine your research, and you can put a minus in front of a keyword to exclude a keyword. For example, if I don't want to see that sand green baseplate, you can just put a minus sand, and as you can see, the sand baseplate is removed. You can also use double quotes to group several keywords to make a whole keyword. For example, if I just want the 32 by 32 baseplate, I can just enclose this into double quote, and now we only have the 32 by 32 green baseplate. Each category can have its own keywords. So for example, if I only want 9-volt track here, I can just type 9-volt here, and I still have my green baseplate in the baseplate category. But you can also make your research global to all the categories by clicking on this button, and then when you browse the categories, there it is, you found your Eiffel Tower. Filtering is not the only improvement on the part library to find the part. Now the parts are also sorted by subcategory, like for example, in the track folder we have the 9-volt parts, 12-volt parts, then the 4.5-volt parts, and finally the monorail. Okay, so maybe you have noticed the presence of this new button here. Yes, that's right, we have a new type of layer. That's a layer to add rulers and measurement tools. So I select the ruler I want. We have two types of linear one and circular one. So I choose the linear one, and then I can just drag and drop here, and here it is. There is many different kind of units. You can change it by double clicking on the ruler. Here you can, for example, choose meter or feet, and then you can see the real size of your layout, for example. BlueBrick 1.8 brings you another features asked by many users: the possibility to manage a limited budget of parts. There's a new dedicated menu for these features. To create a new budget, just choose new, and now you can see that there is numbers under each part. So the first number is the actual number on your map. So if I drag and drop parts like that, it will increase. And the second number is your budget. So by default it's question mark, but I can change this. For example, if I just want to limit this baseplate to 8, and when I will reach the maximum, then the number will appear with a red background because it's above the budget. You can even ask BlueBrick to prevent you to add more parts by choosing this one, use budget limitation. And now if I try to add one more part, I have an error message saying that I cannot, which I can disable if I want. You can of course set a budget for all the parts, different parts in your part library, and when you are happy with your budget settings, you can of course save your budget in a file, and by default the budget is mybudget.bbb, but you can of course save it with a different name somewhere where you want. And that means later on you can reload that budget, and you can also reload it by default in the preference. You can, in the part library, you can choose here the budget you want to load by default, for example this one. So that means every time you launch BlueBrick, it will load your budget at startup. Of course, if you don't want to use the budget anymore, you can just close it. Another invisible but very important features is that now BlueBrick is using the clipboard for copy pasting, which means now it's possible to copy some parts from one map. For example, if I copy this map to another one, if I load this one for example, and I can just copy them. So that means what? That means now it's easier for you to merge two BlueBrick file into one when you have for example different version of the same layout. You can more easily merge the modification of two different persons on the same layout. The next new features concern the groups. So the group was features introduced into 1.7, and now it is possible to create a group directly inside BlueBrick and save it into your library. For example, if you want to make a basic module like this, okay, well, we'll put it here. Here it is. That's a straight module. So for example, you can select all these parts, and then you can save this selection as a group in the library. So if you do that, you have this window appearing, so you can give a name to it. You can add some parameters like, for example, your name. You can also put some description, etc. Then if you press OK, this new group of parts is now visible inside the custom category. From now on, you can just reuse it on your map, just like this. Let's just mention that I will also improve the picking of the parts. So for example, if I take this this point. Now I can just if I click here, for example, you see that I don't select the rail point, but I select the part under, and now I really need to click inside it to select the part. Finally, let's finish with the export window. So in this window I have added this option here. So now you can also export the watermark. You can also add the outline of all the parts, and this may be quite useful if you want to count how many rail track, for example, you need to add when you are building the actual layout for real. You can also add the electric circuits or the connection point before exporting. So it's just some more option, very convenient for choosing your export option. That's it in short. Make sure to download your 1.8 version. There's also many bug fix inside, and I didn't detail very precisely all the new features, so I prefer to let you discover them by yourself. Hope you will enjoy it, and see you for the 1.9. Bye bye.